to heal that, whatever that looks like for people, not be a victim to what has been delivered to you, and to not fall into survival. Taking the time to take that key and open up your own heart for yourself. When we think of trauma, it's never to be dismissed. But what does that mean? Get over it. That's part of the healing, but not just healing, that's life.
Welcome back to the Healing Train. What a journey it's been. Last season was full of truth, tears, breakthroughs, and deep connection. Thank you for showing up, for listening, and for being brave enough to heal with me. This season, we're going even deeper. Expect raw, honest conversations with guests from around the world. Survivors, experts, healers, each bringing powerful stories and wisdom to remind you you're not alone and your healing matters. If you're carrying pain, confusion, or questions that feel too heavy to hold on your own, this space is for you. Take a breath, come as you are, and know this: healing isn't always pretty, but it's always worth it. And together, we'll keep moving, one stop at a time. So hop back on and let's ride. With us for an enriching conversation on the Healing Train, Rosa Milando. With over 25 years of experience in energy and frequency practices, Rosa has dedicated her journey to inspiring awareness, transformation, and transmutation for divine alignment. Through multiple certifications, teachings, and intuitive guidance, Rosa empowers others to transcend fear and embrace the radiant light of divine love, even in the darkest of times. Rooted in the belief that our natural essence is pure divine love, she serves as a guiding force for those seeking healing and alignment. A dynamic motivational speaker, channeler, spiritual advisor, talk therapist, and energy and sound facilitator, Rosa also specializes in crystal grid work and trauma healing. Passionate about self-healing, she serves as a guide to those on the path of personal empowerment and transformation. Beyond the healing arts, Rosa is an award-winning intuitive artist and an alchemist of crystal energy-infused self-healing personal care products. Her creative work reflects a deep understanding of the connection between energy, intention, and healing. Continuing to evolve as both a teacher and student, Rosa remains devoted to guiding others in the sacred union of body, mind, and spirit, fostering a deeper connection to the intuitive heart of humanity and the divine. I'm so pleased to have Rosa Milando on the show with us today. I am awake. I am the creator of universes. I am conscious of and in command of my own abilities now, and choose to use them for the betterment of all in this life and beyond. I am the pure essence of love. I create love, give love, and receive love. I am a survivor, a believer, a warrior with a path, and nothing will stand between me and my higher self. By Ebony Townsend. Rosa, thank you for joining me today.
Hello. My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Rosa, you are actually quite an inspiration for me. Let me start by quoting something you said to me, which ties in beautifully with how I started our episode. Wherever there is a question, love is the answer. Can we start from here? I'd like us to elaborate on this profound statement.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And I'm so happy that you like that statement, because it's like become my mantra, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
It inspired me to, in the world of fear, which everybody was in extreme fear just a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that inspired me to work with love even further, which I have been doing for a very long time, many, many years. And it's, it's so easy to take the path of fear. And for me, the opposition of that is love. And it's, and I speak of pure divine love, the kind of love where it just comes so naturally especially when you open up your heart and you would just allow it without all the chatter of why you shouldn't love. And so I think it's very important for us to take that time whenever you're like articulating, or if you're like reacting in anger or hatred, or thinking that one is better than another, that if you take just a few moments, that's all it takes sometimes, just a few moments to sit back and be, how can I bring love to that? How can I bring compassion and empathy to it? Because that's really what love is a representation of. It is about unity, and it is about compassion for another, and empathy being not sympathy, because sympathy is let's say less evolved, for lack of better words.
Right.
It's more about empathy, which means that you can see yourself in those shoes. You can empathize with that person and be like, wait a second, you know what? If I was in those shoes, I would feel the same way. Instead of sitting, a lot of times we sit in judgment instead. Or we look at people in such a harsh manner. And sometimes that also can come from us being raised at times. And it's not about like blaming parents, because parents do the best they can with what they've experienced or how they've been raised and whatnot. So there's always meaning and purpose to everything.
Right.
But it is about sometimes where there's tough love. To me, those two words don't belong together. So when you're raised in tough love, it also comes from judgment. Or a toxic love, where you're taking on the toxicity of the person that delivers what they consider to be love, and you allow it in because you also identify with that toxicity or toxic love. So we can choose toxic relationships, and if you don't do the blame and shame game, you can actually go, wait a second, I attracted that because of my understanding of love. And then you can empathize with that person and empathize with yourself, because the real key is to love yourself. Because if you love yourself, then loving others and loving every situation really is so much easier. Because I do believe that our essence is pure divine love. And it's connection to source, it's connection to each other, it's connection where it begins, where that key really opens up your own heart. And it's in the recognition that you are perfect already. We're divinely perfect already. And sometimes we allow in negative talk, or negative or criticism or judgment, because we have lack within ourselves and we don't love ourselves. So for me, taking the time to take that key and open up your own heart for yourself is the most important thing we'll ever do in our lives. Because, as I said, love for everything that breathes on this planet and beyond is so much easier then.
That was so beautiful. Like, you had me mesmerized right there. I just
Thank you. Thank you.
I love the way you articulated it. It's just, I mean, we all kind of know this, but it's the way you put it together that made sense. It just made sense.
Thank you.
And you're right. I truly believe that love is the key to everything and is the key to healing. Love is the key to healing. From my personal experience, I can tell you that when I was in a place of love versus a place of judgment, the situation completely changed for me. So on the subject of healing, we are on a ride on the healing train today. So if you could please share with us, from your expertise, what do you believe holds us back from healing our deep-rooted traumas and wounds?
There are a few things. I'm going to go with habitual. We become so habitual and accepting of other people's views of who and what we are. And it begins, with the understanding that we learn love from our parents. That's the first time we actually learn what love is. And I've never had a client that hasn't experienced trauma, because That's one of my specialties, of course. And I think it is important to, even if people don't realize they've gone through trauma,
Mhm.
to bring awareness to the fact that maybe you've gone through trauma. And that's why we perpetuate the same thing over and over again. So
Yeah.
awareness is so important, and allowing yourself to become aware, in spite of the illusions that you might be living, or the distractions, or the dependencies that we take on, codependent on even alcohol, drugs,
Mm.
um, toxic relationships,
Mm.
example, or being so codependent, even just being attached to so many things,
Mm.
so that we don't see the big picture of what is needed for us to heal.
Mm.
And trauma, when we think of trauma, it's never to be dismissed. Trauma can happen, not to scare people, but it could happen, 100 times in your lifetime. And people do tend to dismiss it. Or I used to say when I was a teenager to people, get over it. Now I
Mm.
was like, that's not very nice. That's not nice. So, I'm not saying, I am saying even today, it's not to get over it, but what does that mean? Get over it.
Mm.
What do you like? For me now, it's like, now I take the time to listen and to see how we can get down to the source of what represents that trauma, and why you feel the need, because we get comfortable with it, why you feel the need to still take it on and keep it as part of your life.
Yeah. So we're
Because
going to the root cause, pretty much, is what you're saying.
we're going to the root
Yeah.
cause. Exactly. We are going to the root cause. And a lot of times it does happen with your parents. While they're living their life, they don't even realize that they might be dismissing you, or not seeing you, or not hearing you. So that's that's the main thing. It is the getting down to the root, and then understanding that you need to be grounded and aware, um, and being vulnerable enough to allow that in, because
Mm.
that's very important too, to want to see the big picture instead of you yourself just dismissing it. Makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I feel sometimes nowadays, like we're all on social media and different platforms, right? I feel the word trauma is being used more than the usual, let's say. Like everyone is making posts about trauma this and trauma that. And I know we're not here in a place of judgment at all, but we're making an observation about what's happening in today's world. And my personal opinion is I feel there are content out there that isn't explaining trauma correctly, and it could mislead people about thinking something is a trauma, meanwhile it really isn't, because we don't even understand what trauma is. And if I may, one of the people that helped me understand trauma is Gabor Mate. I love him. I love his teachings. I love his books. And there's actually a webinar that I'm going to be attending later on today for him. And he explains trauma as this, and I hope, like, I'm trying to quote him, but maybe I'm not saying it word for word. He said, trauma is not what happens to you. It is the thing, like the event that happens within you as a result of what happened to you.
Mm. I
Right?
love that.
I hope
Yes,
I'm explaining it right. I know I'm not using,
absolutely. No,
but
absolutely.
but
Yeah.
that's the true meaning. So people are under the impression that trauma is what happened. Trauma is not what happened. It's how you internalized it, and how you've adopted survival and coping mechanisms to deal with what happened to you. Do you want to talk more about that?
Yes, that's so perfectly said. And I also love Gabor Mate.
Yeah.
He is a genius. And he speaks from his own trauma as well. And that trauma is beyond many people's trauma.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I actually, I agree immensely with that interpretation. Like, so well put, Rania. That was like so good. It's, and it is, like the way you react to it, right? And what emotions you hang on to while you're reacting to it, and you just excuse. It's almost like the comfort that I was speaking of. It's like it's like you excuse your behavior because you were going through trauma, right? And then you expect other people to also excuse that behavior, and it's not fair. And that's the world of not healing, really. And that is to understand that something happened to you, but it's how you react and how you behave afterwards, and how you take the time to heal that, whatever that looks like for people. Not be a victim to what has been delivered to you, and to not fall into survival mode for the rest of your life. And so many people do that, like, if not more people than not, right? And as you said, like, we're always being bombarded with so many different perspectives, and people excusing behaviors instead of taking accountability and responsibility for your own life. And that is so important for us to understand that, which will lead me just to this next point, is it's become so predominant in my existence, of you know, we could be called a light worker. You may have heard that term, right? As you are as well. And but I'm now calling it more of a dark light worker, because you have to allow yourself to understand what the darkness means, and what lessons come from those dark and negative moments and dense moments, because that's part of the healing. But not just healing, that's life. And so for us to wake up every morning and be like, okay, that happened yesterday. What's the lesson from it? With maybe like stepping back, sleeping on it. A lot of people say sleep on it. I think that's really effective, because then you can step out of it a little bit and then be like, okay, there was a lesson in that. Now, how do I bring light to it? How do I bring love to it? Right? How do I not accept it, so that I don't perpetuate or accept, let's say, the darkness constantly? You don't make friends with it necessarily, although you could, but you also kind of celebrate that you have been given an opportunity for change, and how to organize that change is up to you, and what emotions you want to go with is up to you. But to stay in the darkness for too long, or embrace negativity on a regular basis, that's how trauma becomes prevalent in your life. And also, the longer you are in darkness, the longer it'll take to heal, right? So it's getting, to me, there's a quickening in the energies. This has been happening for a long time now, and the quickening is about going in the darkness, or if you're being put in the darkness, whatever you want to call it, going in, learning the lesson, and then getting out, right? But learning it, but then, because it's going to come again. But how do we maneuver within the dark, within the light? How do we maneuver? It doesn't have to be separate. I think it's all working together, and then maybe we'll learn more and more. Maybe trauma will not even be a word that exists anymore one day, which would be very nice.
I love how you said that, and it's hitting me right now as you're speaking. It's hitting me because I'm realizing that while I sustained certain traumas throughout my childhood and my adulthood, and as I started to do the inner work, and the self-healing and self-awareness, and knowing where everything came from and what my role is, taking responsibility and not being in that victim mentality, and taking pretty much responsibility for myself and for my life and for my healing. And I realized that now I respond differently, meaning it's almost as if I am stopping trauma from happening anymore. And I know that's a big word to say, but because of my self-awareness, I see the event as it's taking place that could have been traumatic, but because I see it for what it is, I don't allow it to do that thing to me, where now it becomes trauma. So I stop trauma in its tracks before it even gets there, because I'm aware and I respond differently. I respond from that place of love, from the place of understanding, from that place of acceptance that people are the way they are and you can't change them, you can't control them. I can only control me and how I feel and how I respond in the situation. So I love how you said perhaps one day trauma may not even be a word anymore, And I think that's how, is that when we evolve and grow and heal ourselves, we can come to this point where trauma is not even a thing anymore because we are so aware as it happens.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think about what I just
Yeah.
said. I have no idea where that came from. It just came right here, right now.
Oh, it's so needed to, that's why, because you delivered it, because we all needed to hear it. Right? Because I get like all these, like sometimes I get shivers and stuff.
Yeah.
And even in my deliverance, sometimes it's like, because we're being guided.
Yes.
Whether
We're
we
channels.
realize it or
We're
not,
channels.
we're channeling, we're all of us, we all have guides, we all have angels, I believe, all that wonderfulness. And we are being guided to deliver in service and deliver the messages that are needed. And sometimes it comes through, this is why this is such an honor and such a blessing to be in this podcast with you. And that I know that we're working together, right? We're working together with the guides, and they're asking us to, this is so divine, so perfect. So that is exactly so beautifully of you to be so aware and to allow yourself to be vulnerable. First off, vulnerable enough to even just share that, which is so beautiful. And that's the thing, we don't even need to share the details of our trauma without, because we still can have compassion and empathy, and then also celebrate your healing process and your awareness on, what, on a large scale, we can do it with less effort. It doesn't have to be a burden all the time. You've been working on yourself, it sounds like, for quite a while in the healing process of trauma, and now you know how to bring that light to it instantly. And that is where, people keep saying, oh, humanity is devolving. I'm going to just say this, in the world of devolve, hell no. Okay. So, and I don't even believe in hell.
Hells to the no.
Hells to the no. So no, that's once again the illusion that we've been given in order for, I don't want to feed that energy too much, but in the world of people wanting to control, people wanting to that are greedy and not necessarily wanting to embark on any part of their own spiritual self, because we're all spiritual beings, whether we recognize it or not. And in the understanding even that we're all energy before we are even physical. So once you have that understanding, it's very difficult for people to control you, right? And so understanding that you have your own power. We have free will. That's something we're born with. We have everything that we have is right here, right here. It doesn't have to be outside of us, right? I honor technology and social media for certain things, in deliverance, in service, in also people sharing things in order to uplift each other. And so, when I said what I said about the trauma not existing, and then you went, there was a part of me that was like, there might be judgment there. And I was like, because it could sound dismissive, but you went right into exactly what was needed for us to understand through your own experience and your own work that yes, it can be that easy. Or it can appear that easy, and it can be done. So thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah.
Woo. That was beautiful. That was definitely guided. I can feel it. I can feel that was guided for both of us.
Yeah, that was so good. Thank you. Wow.
Rosa, you do many things, and I've read that in your bio earlier. One of them is sound healing.
Yes.
And to some people, this is a new thing. They don't even know what is that. So can you explain to us what is sound healing? What does it entail, and what does it do for us? How does it help us?
Absolutely. People keep hearing, frequencies and vibrations, and what does it mean, and the electromagnetic field of humanity, right? So these are all words that were all foreign to me many, many years ago. And I had resistance to it because it was unattainable, as
intangible.
I can't, right? Can't touch it. I can't touch it. Like, I can't see it. I can't, right? And sounds, you can't see the sounds. Maybe one day we'll be able to. We can't see the sounds, but we can definitely feel them. And the frequency, when they speak of frequency is hertz, right? The instruments that I play most of them 432 hertz.
Mhm.
But then I go even into I have a 4,000 hertz called the angelic tuning forks. So there's so many hertz. What we are being delivered in this realm, unless we go to or we hear, there's certain musicians that will still perform in these 432 hertz, and you feel so much. You feel your vibration is literally like you are vibrating, but it's not even shown on the outside except for excitement, but it goes down to our cellular structure. So it actually changes you in that moment, and it aligns you to a place that I would call more divine, more pure, more of our truest essence.
Mm.
So within the distortion of sounds, sometimes you turn on your radio and you're just like, oh my God, I don't want to hear that, but it's in the background. Your cells are feeling that. And when you say, I don't want to hear that, we forget, just turn it off. What, like discern what you allow in. And that's what these sounds, when you surrender to these sounds, and you just allow it in, even it could be uncomfortable sometimes because it's going through this density within your own system. And sometimes you're like, oh my God, I didn't like that sound, but I liked that sound.
Mhm.
And sometimes it takes a while to adapt to the sounds in order for you to understand that the more you surrender to them and the more you want to heal thyself, you will enjoy the sounds immensely, and you will take it in as a meditative state. And that's what you'll be, you could, some people call it sound baths. Some people call it sound healing. And a lot of it is also in the realignment of the chakra system. And for those, that don't know the chakra system, it starts with 7 that we know of, and in this Western culture. So the 7 chakra system, the chakra system would be the opening up of what is getting stuck, what is getting blocked in our system. It's opening it up. And these sounds help with that. They actually, as I said, they go down to the cells. So it even goes into your meridians. Excuse the background.
That's all right.
Yeah.
You live in the city, so that's what happens.
I live in the city. Exactly. And I live very close to all these stations. That's part of the healing process, is opening up. And love is the biggest part of that, opening up to the possibility of removing these blockages, awakening what lays dormant. And sometimes things are dormant for lifetimes, whether you believe about lifetimes or not, like for lifetimes. So there's a resurrection of what is your truest and purest essence. And when you come into that whole process, even with the sounds especially, there could be a time where you might have to go into the darkness for a little bit, right? And these sounds inspire alignment. So therefore, within alignment, you have to kind of go back sometimes just to see what you need to heal. And so it's not all love and light, but when I hear these sounds, and when I first actually heard these sounds, I guess, well, I was already in the healing process, but it's a long time ago, 20 years ago. And I surrendered instantly, and I was just like, oh my God, is this God? Like, is this God? And it's like, because it is, it's God energy. It comes from so many sources, and it comes from many lifetimes. Some people say these sounds come back from ancient Egypt. There's so many layers to this. There's just so many layers. And for me to actualize it, because to me, it's about, it's what you hear. So it's liberating one of your senses, but what it's actually doing with these frequencies, it's liberating every one of your senses, and allowing yourself to feel what it means to be aligned. Even if it's after this, for a few days you feel great, and then you're just like, oh man, I wish that would last. And that's just because that happens for many reasons, and that is just an opportunity for you to see and have hope. And understand that the healing process is real, and you can feel that way all the time. And you can purchase them, or you can go to sound baths, or you can hear it on YouTube. There's so many ways of finding these high frequency modalities and different healings, even meditations, that sort of thing. So I have, anyway, I'll stop there and allow you to keep going.
Well, to be honest, I wish I had a pen and paper with me right now because there was a few things that as you were speaking, I'm like, I want to ask about this, I want to ask about this, but I think a few of them are still here. So the first
Yes,
question I want to ask, based on what you just said, is when we're talking about these frequencies, the hertz, right? Like my knowledge, I can't say I have a lot of knowledge about this, but my knowledge is that there is the alpha state, beta state, and theta state. And these hertz, the numbers match those states. So it's a state of being that we kind of allow ourselves to be in when we surround ourselves with that sound, with the vibration, with the frequency that we're on, turning on that radio station, as you mentioned, right?
yes, yes.
Am I correct in that? Like, because
There
some
is
people may be understanding it the same way I am. So please correct if.
no, that's a different, it's not different. It is the same. Like going into the chakra system is going into all the thetas and the betas and all that
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
And that is, I don't know, when I think of the theta and the beta and all that, I think a lot of the mind and body connection, but
Ah.
it does actually connect you to spirit as well. I'm quite sure.
That's the theta
Because
state,
I
if
don't
I,
know
if
the
I understand. I think it's the theta is the highest, correct? Am I correct?
theta. I only have small teachings on that, to be
Okay. All
honest.
right. So we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
popped. It just popped into my head.
Yes, yeah. So because I look at things through the chakra system, and I work on the 12 chakra system
Mhm.
at this time because it's
Yeah.
the resurrection of what is dormant within
Yes.
past the seven.
Yes.
Because of this conversation, I will go back to my theta and beta and
Okay.
all that wonderfulness. I have notes. I took like a mini course or whatever,
Yeah.
and many years ago, and so that's relevant. That
Okay.
is so relevant for
Okay.
sure. That is
Yeah.
so relevant.
Yeah.
So, but I could only
Well,
expand on that for
n-
so much. But
no problem. Thank you
next
for your
question.
honesty and not
Yeah.
saying something that you're not,
No,
100%
I
sure
would.
about. Yeah. That's even better.
Yeah.
So maybe it gives us an excuse for us to have another episode where we record with you on another subject and talk about the theta, beta, and alpha as an
Yes.
excuse.
Yes.
An excuse. The other question that came to mind, Rosa, is when you were mentioning that we can be stuck, right? When we're working on our chakra system, there's some blockage, right? And sometimes these frequencies that we listen to can help us become a bit unstuck in a way. So I'm wondering, can someone be stuck on a frequency for many years and not be aware? And that's why their actions and their behaviors is influenced by where they are stuck in that frequency. I don't know if I'm making any sense in what I just said.
Yes. Simplify it. I'm going to simplify this in the chakra system.
Yeah.
Um, because I mean, we don't know it, but it is a thing. Like it's
Yeah.
not
It's
like common
intangible.
knowledge.
Mhm.
It's tangible, yeah, and it is one day. Hopefully, I hope it's common knowledge in school. To be
Mhm.
honest, he delivered that wisdom. Is that there's a Kundalini, right, and it's like literally like a spiral that's within our system. Okay, and we know it of the seven because that's what we've learned. But it goes to the 12, and then it goes 32. We could just keep going. All the realms. So there's an activation, or I'm going to say reactivation, because we are always in that system. But
Right.
sometimes that spiral goes slow,
Mhm.
and sometimes it can stop and it can go slow. Like so, it's like you feel like that's the density of what we can feel at times. And so and every chakra represents literally what it means to be human, right? Like the root, or simply root chakra is being grounded on this planet
Mhm.
and being in touch with nature and the understanding that we're not separate, that sort of thing. And the sacral chakra is your relationship to yourself, to other people, to the relationship that you had as a child. Your heart is
Yeah.
it. We close our hearts sometimes, right? Free will. People are constantly telling us what to do. We're not embracing our free will. Our
Yeah.
third eye, our throat. We're not saying what we need to say. The third eye. We're not seeing things in the larger spectrum. And then the crown chakra, the guides are talking to us and we're like whatever. So it's not, so it's like it can be simplified in that way to understand that is what needs to awaken. So yes, we can stay stuck and dormant,
Mhm.
and blocked for many many years,
Mhm.
and that's usually would be in a victim way. without knowing.
Yeah, because we're
Yeah.
unaware. Absolutely. We're not conscious to it, and we haven't done the healing work. It is when we become aware and start doing the healing in whichever modalities that resonate, then we start to open up more, and and it's a conscious decision at this point. We're making
Yes.
a conscious decision to figure out what is it that's stopping us, holding us back, or limiting beliefs and so forth, right? Like, this is when we do the deep dive, right?
Yes. Yes. Well said. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's great.
A brief stop at a station. This show is proudly sponsored by Say It Out Loud GG, led by the inspiring Judith Diaz, an avid change maker and passionate advocate for speaking up and raising awareness. The Healing Train podcast is honored to have her support. Now let's get back to the show. I would love, Rosa, if you can take us on a short journey today with a sound bath or sound healing using the tools and the instruments that you have handy. Take us on a ride on that healing train that we're on today. Let's see where it
Absolutely.
takes us, just a
Yeah.
few minutes of your time. And,
Yes.
and I'll let you guide this when you're ready. And I want the audience to enjoy this. But please, this is a disclaimer. If you are driving, do not close your eyes to try to take this in. Make sure you come back to the episode and listen to it one more time to get the benefit of this healing energy that we're about to listen to. But if you are about to go to sleep, that's a perfect time for you to listen to it, because it might help you drift off into a beautiful state. And if you're starting your day listening to this, it will start your day right. Okay? So take it away, Rosa. I'm right here.
Awesome. It's my honor. Yeah. And so just relax. Close your eyes is the best way. If you don't want to close your eyes, that's okay too. There is no right or wrong in this. Just relax. Start taking deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. About 5 times in through your nose deeply, out through your mouth. Relax. Relax. slowly come back to this beautiful divine planet. Taking deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Deeply in, deeply out. Deeply in, deeply out. You are free. You are protected. You are peace, joy. You are pure, divine love. 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 Just relax and take a few moments, a couple of moments, to just integrate those beautiful sounds into your being. Feel the wholeness that is you. And when you are ready, we will continue with this beautiful podcast.
Thank you, Rosa. That was very beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hope that whoever was listening to this felt something profound move within them, felt a shift of some sort, or felt called to perhaps know more about sound healing, sound bath. As you all know, we are doing this on a virtual call. And if the sounds aren't coming out and you're getting the benefit of it as beautifully as it would have sounded in real life if you were right next to the instrument, I apologize if it didn't come out as best as it could, but we definitely worked around with our settings to try and make this experience with the sound be as good as it can be. And this is where I would like to invite you to attend any of Rosa's live sessions, where her sound bath and sound healing sessions, I guess is what I want to say, are truly beautiful. Among the other types of work that she does, which I'll allow her to tell us about. So, Rosa, please do share with us the type of work that you do after this lovely topic that we've discussed about love and trauma and understanding frequency healing and chakra points. We've discussed many subjects, and I'd love for you to share with us the type of work you do and how can someone connect with you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Rania. Beautiful. So beautiful. I'll start with you had mentioned live videos. So I do live videos also on Instagram and Facebook, and I will be beginning on TikTok as well. And I'll tell you the sounds, this has been a learning experience for me as well, to be doing the sounds on a Zoom with the proper settings, because it took a while to figure out the proper settings at my end. Pardon me. Part of healing is water, spring water, specifically. Because we're also made up of water and it helps to cleanse out. So that will, if I just may, after, even if it's a mini sound healing, it's good to have water afterwards in order for to help along what needs to be cleansed out of your system, because that's what this is doing as well, right? So water is very important.
A great tip.
Yeah. So thank you. So, so on Facebook, on Instagram, eventually on TikTok, maybe as early as tonight, because I'm keep saying I'm going to go on TikTok. The sounds are more, they're really heard, almost too loud, some would say. So I've learned how to maneuver around that, and I do it on my phone, 2 phones, so that I could do it simultaneously on Facebook and Instagram. So that is, but there will come a time, because I'm inspired now to get a microphone, another type of microphone, so that people can hear it on a Zoom call as well, to that degree.
Yes.
And it is very profound on video, absolutely. But I can't recommend enough the live experience.
Live performance, yeah.
Yeah, it's just also easier to surrender, and you've already, like, when you show up for something like that, you've surrendered. You're going to show up. You're going to be more present with it.
Yeah.
And allow your consciousness to shift within it.
Yeah.
So, but this has been so great. It's been so great. And the good thing about sounds, I'm just going to say this one thing, is that even if you didn't hear the sounds, let's say you didn't hear the sounds, and at your end you couldn't hear them very well, or it was very, very low.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because everything is energy.
Yeah.
So the frequencies and the delivery, and the fact that you opened up, you intentionally showed up, you opened up to it, your cells felt it right down to the core. And I could be doing, because I've done remote. So one of the things that I do is I do remote and for people, and I just tune into them. They allow me to do it. They've asked for it. And they don't hear any of the sounds live. There's nothing live. Right. So I'm just tuning in. They're taking that time to just relax. I ask them to lay down. I even, which will lead me to my next point, is I work with crystals. And I work with, and I do wandery with Lemurian crystal wands. And that's part of my practice. So I do that remotely as well. And the amount of feedback, especially for people that are, very psychic. I'm very honored to know some people that are quite psychic and have helped me along my path as well. Is they receive it so profoundly that they feel the shift instantaneously, and it's an unwinding. You can feel that shift for a few days. Some people, the unraveling can last 2 weeks. It's an unraveling. Okay, so. This is very profound, and just, as I said, remotely, and I'm digging bowls and everything, and there's nobody here but me and my cats. And it's profound. And I tell you, I get something out of it. I get so much out of it as well. It's a blessing for me as well. And I do consider these modalities to be a blessing. And so my label is Energy Sound Practitioner, and I do one-on-one sessions. I'm also a facilitator at meta events, so Meta Expo, metaphysical events. This expo and is one of the few expos that it's a good intro into this world. You can go and look at crystals and feel the energy of the crystals, what crystals are meant for you. You can go for healings. Different healing modalities are available there, not just mine. There's tarot card readers, if you like that sort of thing as well. So there's so many different ways of expanding your metaphysical, your spiritual essence, outside of what you see in the physical. So I also do, especially in the summer. Well, in the summer, I do live events in the park. I do live events in the park of aligning the system and doing my sound baths in the park. That experience is beautiful because you're in nature, like right immersed in nature. So the feelings are very, very, very
intensified.
Beautiful. Yes, very intensified. And I do it in front of the water. I've done it down at Lake Ontario as well.
Even more intensified.
Right, exactly, right? So it's been, so that's a little bit about what I do. I also make my own crystal energy infused products for holistic care. And also, one of them is an anointing oil. So it's about, using the oil to open up your heart and to honor yourself. That's, and your sacred temple, which this is a sacred temple, a cleansing protective mist, that also helps to align your system. an average lip balm, but a really good one, because they're all very natural and very integrity based, because I do make sure. I also have sensitive skin, which is how I started this journey about 30 years ago of making the products.
That's how it always begins. It's something
it always
that
begins.
we need.
Yes. And you can't find it. You're like, there's nothing out there that I like,
but then
right?
you
so
make
you
it
start
happen.
making it.
You just start making it happen.
Right. And that's what we can all do. Like, we could all just be like, okay, that's not good. That's not good. Maybe I can make something. And one of the other things I do is I'm an artist. And I have so many artists. I have so many paintings right now that, and I'm not in a gallery right now. So if anybody ever wants to reach out for a painting, please come by my studio at home. My paintings are also, a lot of them, I'd say most of them are channeled and very intuitively guided. I go into a trance when I'm painting, and it changes me. It changes me. And a lot of people that do purchase my paintings, they are guided to them because it changes something within themselves that needs to shift maybe into a more divine essence. So, and that's just an honor. And I'm going to tell you just this because I am certified as an energy sound practitioner and have many certifications. But as far as making my products, that's been a journey of tuning into my own alchemy of what I can deliver in that world. I did not learn it. I did not go to school for it. Painting is the same thing. I used to say, I wish I could paint. And then one year I started painting and I couldn't stop. And that was about 20 years ago, or maybe even longer, actually. So I want to say that because we are so naturally gifted, and so there's just so many things, so many layers that want to come forward in our deliverance, in creating, in just creating. We're all creators. So that's the most important thing, I think, for us to recognize, that we are all creators and we can create anything. We can create our reality, literally create our reality. So as far as how to get in touch with me, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, Rosa Milando. You even just have to put in my own name, the name, but I believe Rania is going to have all that information put down. I'm also on TikTok under Divine Love. And then also you can reach out to me via email, rosamilando@simpatico.ca. If you ever want to book a session, it's in my space. And I have a really awesome healing space. And I say that because it's hard for me to leave. It's like so many, it just feels so good in here.
Well, Rosa, I haven't been invited yet. Hello.
Oh my goodness. Oh yes.
When am I coming over?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, yes. You'll be the first after this.
All right. Sounds good. It's a date. We're going to set it up.
Yes. So that's I think that's pretty much in a nutshell. So thank you for holding space for me to deliver all of that. Rania, this has been such an honor. I can't tell you enough. We go into this, unrehearsed. And I think that's the way it's meant to be, because life is unrehearsed, and I think it is meant to come out in a very in its natural essence, in its natural pure essence. And that's, I think, if we can all show up that way, wow, the messages that would come through and the deliverance that we would offer would just be there'd be no more density, no more negativity, no more darkness. Yes. Yay. So thank you so much, Rania, for doing this. I'm so happy that you do this, do these podcasts. So many people need to just to be in this kind of vessel where they can learn and also open up their own gifts as well. So thank you so much. What an honor. Yeah.
Thank you, Rosa, for being with me on this journey today on the healing train. Through love, energy, and sound. Rosa, we'll be speaking to you again. I can guarantee you will have another episode on this show in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rania.
Before you hop off the train, if something in today's ride stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode with someone who needs it. Hit follow and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Want to dive deeper or have a topic you'd love us to explore? I'm all ears. Drop your questions, thoughts, or suggestions. We're in this healing journey together, and your voice matters here. Just drop a message to guest@healingtrain.ca. I am listening. And until next time, keep on healing you and keep riding with me on the healing train.